الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه والتابعين. أما بعد، رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Dear people, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to another episode of An Ayah a Day Shows You the Way. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, today we'll be exploring the 19th juz of the Quran, specifically Surah Al-Furqan, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ويوم يعض الظالم على يديه يقول يا ليتني اتخذت مع الرسول سبيلا يا ويلتى ليتني لم أتخذ فلانا خليلا لقد أضلني عن الذكر بعد إذ جاءني وكان الشيطان للإنسان خذولا وقال الرسول يا رب إن قوم اتخذوا هذا القرآن مهجورا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in translation, and on the day where the one who oppressed himself will bite his hands, saying, if only I took the path of Rasul, if only I took the path of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam. I wish I didn't take so-and-so as a friend. He indeed misguided me after the guidance came to me, and indeed Shaitan is most deceptive to mankind. And the Messenger will say on Qiyamah, O my Lord, indeed my people, they took this Quran mahjura, i.e. they deserted it, they didn't go near it. And this is the ayah I want to focus on, but I recited the previous ayahs before to build a context. So it starts off with the scene of a man on Qiyamah who's wronged himself, i.e. in terms of sinning. He's now under the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He knows now he's going to a bad place. How does he know he's going to a bad place? Because when he's biting his hands, in the Arabic term, يَعَضُّ الظَّالِمُ عَلَى يَدَيْهِ, he's biting on his hands. It's a metaphor to show that he's really regretful. He's biting his hands out of sheer intense regret. Why though? Because he says, يَا لَيْتَنِي اتَّخَذْتُ مَعَ الرَّسُولِ سَبِيلًا. I wish I had taken a path with the Messenger. Why is he saying this? It's because on Qiyamah, there will be paths for the believers going into Jannah, going towards prosperity, going towards the land of eternity, their true home, Jannah. And then there will be a path of people going to Jahannam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this month save us from those people. And wal'iyadu billah, if our names are written near those people who are going to the fire, may Allah use this month to raise it via our deeds and our tawbah and His immense mercy. So that's what it means, that he's biting his hands out of regret because he sees people going down one path, and that is the path of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why he says, Ma'ar Rasuli Sabila. I wish I took a path with the Messenger. I wish I followed my Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I wish I followed his sunnah. I wish I followed the Quran he came with. I wish I followed the guidance he came with. I wish I didn't listen to and follow any other path. Then he goes on to say, Ya waylata laytani lam attakhidh fulanan khalila. Subhanallah. Again, to unpack this, he says, I wish, if only. You know when people, they regret something, I wish I didn't do that. The same thing is being said here. I wish I didn't take so-and-so as a friend. And this is an Arabic grammatical point I like to bring to light to share this point about the Quran's precision regarding this word. In the Arabic language, when you want to make something known, you place alif and lam in front of a noun. Again, I'll repeat it. If you want to make something known in Arabic, you place alif lam in front of a noun. So for example, if I want to say the book, I say al-kitab. So the person I'm speaking to knows which book I am referring to. Let's say pen, al-qalam. I've put alif lam in front. I'm referring to the pen. So the person I'm speaking to, when I'm saying pass me al-qalam, they know which pen I'm referring to. But the word fulan here, it means like any human being, any person, yeah? There is no alif lam in front of the word fulan, which means what here? That on that day, the bad friends that people took in this dunya, on that day, they'll be indefinite, meaning they won't even know them. It's amazing how the Quran paints this picture. They won't even know them. i.e., they'll be referred to al-Qiyamah as so-and-so. Because of the intensity of that day, the horror of that day, and because of the path they're now going down, and they see all these other believers go to another path, they don't even remember the people they used to chill with and break bread with in the dunya. They don't remember it. Why? Because they chose a path which is leading them down a very terrible place. And then it goes on to say that such and such person, they misguided me after the guidance had come to me. وَكَانَ الشَّيْطَانُ لِلْإِنسَانِ خَذُولًا. And shaitan to insan is khazul. And the word khazul comes from the word khazala, which means to deceive someone. Now, when it's put into the noun form, i.e. khazul, it's a more intense meaning. It's a more intense meaning, which means that shaitan on that day, he's deceived man so badly. He's deceived insan so badly that the word khazala means he's kind of deceived you so bad that the moment you need him most, he drops you. He leaves you. He leaves you hanging. That's what the word khazul means. So that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying to say to insan here, that those people, i.e. those people who you befriend and they are misguiding you, they are a result of those who shaitan is deceiving. And they'll come to realize this on Qiyamah. Even though subhanAllah will be too late, they'll realize that when they needed the most, there's no savior on that day. They've been dropped. The same way, subhanAllah, shaitan has dropped them. And even you see this characteristic in the dunya, that how is even true friendship valued in the world today? Like it really, this is a very important discussion, I believe, which needs to be had. What is friendship in the dunya today? You go to gym with someone wants to go out for food with you, steak with you, you hire a car with someone, you go on holiday with someone, you may go to, I don't know, like cafes with someone. Is that, like, if you ask yourself, is that really friendship? Because in line of like Islam and the Quran and the Sunnah, that's not friendship. That is a relationship based on a common interest. And when that common interest ceases to exist and is being fulfilled, so does the friendship. And if you think about it, ask yourself, the moment two guys go to gym, when gym is done, that's it. Like they don't mingle again. There's no connection. There's no other relationship outside of that interest. When they've gone on a holiday together, when the holiday is done and everyone comes home, like, do they look out for one another? Are they there for one another? Are they warning each other against bad, calling towards good? So subhanAllah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is painting a picture here to show that true friends are those friends who do the opposite of what shaitan will do on the people, or to the people on Qiyamah, which they don't leave them hanging out to dry at all. And again, the only friendship which can do this, which can fulfill the opposite of what shaitan is going to do, which is leave people, hanging dry on Qiyamah, is the friendship based upon Islam. Do you know why? Because it's the only relationship which transcends any transactional deal, i.e. a interest. It's the only relationship where you will selflessly help a person. I don't need any payback from you. I don't worry about, I will pay for the bill every time I go out. Every time I go out, regardless of whether you have the money or not. Why? Because this relationship we and you have, it transcends this tiny segment called dunya. And that's what, subhanAllah, true friendship is regarding this ayah. But that's a side point. And as for the ayah I wanted to focus on today, وَقَالَ الرَّسُولُ يَا رَبِّي إِنَّ قَوْمِ اتَّخَذُوا هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ مَهْجُورًا. So Rasul will say on that day, "O my Lord, my people have taken this Qur'an as something deserted. They've left it, they've abandoned it. They've abandoned this Qur'an." Subhanallah. So that's what the Prophet ﷺ will say in that time. People may be thinking, Prophet ﷺ may be saying something else. This is what the Prophet ﷺ will say. And it was actually said as well in different tafasir that this was regarding the Prophet ﷺ's, the Prophet ﷺ's quote about the Quraysh. But if you're going to be honest today, and a level of honesty is needed to move forward as an ummah, this ayah refers to, subhanAllah, the people who are Muslims today. They've deserted the Quran. And how does this Quran link back to friendship, subhanAllah? It's like there's a hidden link which not a lot of people could see on the face value of it if they're reading this. But now this theme is about Quran, friendship. Then Prophet ﷺ mentions the Quran. It's like, okay, when you look at it deeply, subhanAllah, what is the only friend, the true friend, which will guarantee you prosperity in dunya and akhirah? You know, the only friend which will give you prosperity in dunya and akhirah is the Quran. It's the only friend which will never let you down. It's the only relationship you have. It will never do you over. It will never hurt you. It will never upset you. It will never disappoint you. It will never lead you down a path, like the ayah is saying, it will never lead you down a path which you're regretful of. Subhanallah. So I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of those people who take the path upon which the Prophet ﷺ will tread on Qiyamah, so we enter Jannah. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to also give us insight into, you know, to recognize fake friendships to genuine, sincere friendships. And I also ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this Quran our first best friend before insan. Because if we make the Quran our first best friend, it will remember us in dunya as well as akhirah. All good was from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all bad was from myself. Please overlook my shortcomings. And bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, I'll see you tomorrow for another episode. Until then, barakallahu feekum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. فما لك في الأرض درب صحيح